In our last video, we learned that the answer to a logarithm is the exponent. We use logarithms when we're trying to find exponents. So before we talk about this assignment, I'm going to teach you a little bit of vocabulary. When we write a logarithm, like for example, let's say we have the log base 6 of x, perhaps. Well, this number right here is what we call the base. And remember that the answer to a log is the exponent. So, in this first section where you've been asked to rewrite in exponential form, that means we want to write this problem as an exponent. I remember that the answer to a log is the exponent. So in this case, 5 will be my exponent. Now, notice how my base is 4. Well, when I write the exponent, the base will still be 4. So this becomes 4, 2, my exponent is 5, and that's going to equal the answer they gave me was 1024. So that's how you can rewrite a logarithm in exponential form. Now, some of these are a little bit different. Look, for example, at problem 5, where we have log of 1000 equals 3. Notice how there's not a base here. Well, if there's not a base, this is what we call the common log. Common because we use it so much. And when we're working with the common log, its base is 10. So you just need to know that the base is 10. We're not going to tell you so. That means, since our base is 10, we would write this as 10, 2. Remember how the answer is the exponent, so 3 will be my exponent. And that's going to equal 1000. Now the last one is number 6, and number 6 is a very special type of log. Notice it's written as ln. Now please note this is an L. This is not an I. So we have the ln of 19.9 equals 3. Now ln is what we call the natural log. And it's a log whose base is e. Do you remember the e we learned about back in the 7.1 assignment? This is where we use e. So ln means log base e. But we never write log base e. We always write it as ln. So anytime you have a log whose base is e, you're going to want to write it as an ln. But here on problem 6, you need to know that if it's an ln, that means the base is e. So I write down that my base is e. Now remember that the answer to a log is the exponent. In this case, my answer is 3, so I know that 3 is the exponent. And that equals the number inside the log, which is 19.9. In our next section, we've been asked to rewrite the equation in logarithmic form. So, for example, on number 7, I'm going to start by writing my log. My base is the same as the base of the exponent. It's that 3. Now I know that the log equals the exponent, so since my exponent is 5, my log is going to equal 5, and that means that this 243 must go inside the log. The only other one you need to be careful about are problems 10, where your log is base 10, so it's a common log, and problem 11, where your log is a base of e, so it's a natural log. Go ahead and try those problems out, and then check them against the answer key, which I'll post on the discussion board. For this next section, I'm asking you to evaluate the expression without using the log button of a calculator. So you can still use a calculator, just don't push the log button. Number 13, we have the log base 5 of 125. Remember that the answer to a log is the exponent. So I can think of this as 5 to the what power equals 125. Well then, if I play around on my calculator, I'll notice that 5 to the third power equals 125, which means the answer to this problem is 3. On this last section, I'm asking you to use a calculator to evaluate each expression. So these 3 problems, 22, 23, and 24, you'll just type into a calculator. If you don't have a calculator that has a log button, you can also type it into Google. This next section, I'm asking you to simplify each expression. So for example, number 25, we have 8 to the log base 8 of x, and we want to know what that equals. Well, remember how the answer to a log is the exponent. So I'm going to say the log base 8 of something equals the exponent log base 8 of x. I want to know what this something is. Well, if the log base 8 and the log base 8 are the same, then that would mean that the piece inside of them must be the same, which means in the box I would fill in x. So I know that this first answer is x. Go ahead and try 26 and 27 doing the same thing, rewriting the exponent first. Number 28, you can go ahead and put those in order yourself. And for 29 through 34, I would like you to go ahead and try those problems out on your own, but once you've tried them, head on over to the discussion board to watch the video where I go over them. Go ahead and try this assignment yourself, then watch the videos on the discussion board to check your answers.